We're counting down the 7 slot machine myths that ex-casino employees say are quietly draining your wallet. From widely believed superstitions about machine hot streaks to myths hidden in casino fine print, each entry exposes the costly misconceptions keeping players hooked and losing more than they think. Did you know that most slot machines pay back less than 92%? But volatility makes losses feel totally random. Some of these myths affect when you play, others how much you bet. But all of them are costing players real money. Which belief is the most damaging of all? Let's start with number 7. Number 7 on the list is a classic. The belief that a slot machine can be hot or cold, that a string of wins or losses means the machine's mood has changed. Casino floors are full of players swapping seats after a cold streak or crowding around a machine rumored to be on a heater. But behind the scenes, every slot is powered by a random number generator, or RNG, that produces a fresh outcome with each spin. There's no memory, no pattern, and no setting for temperature. An ex-dealer from the MGM Grand remembers being called over by frustrated players after a rough patch, convinced something was wrong. Each time, the diagnostic menu showed the same thing: the RNG chip running perfectly, with no way for staff to flip a heat switch or reset the luck. Statistically, streaks of losses or wins are just what you get from true randomness. On a machine with a 10% chance of any win, you'll see runs of 5 or even 10 straight losses all the time. About 35% of the time, you'll lose 10 in a row. Monte Carlo simulations of thousands of sessions confirm it. Clusters happen, but they're not signals. They're noise. The next spin is always just as random as the last, no matter how cold or hot the machine might seem. The smart move isn't chasing streaks, but sticking to your bankroll and ignoring the floor lore. Every spin, every time, the odds stay the same. Tracking patterns on a slot machine, writing down spins, hunting for cycles, or timing the reels, has sent more players home empty-handed than almost any other myth on the floor. The appeal is easy to see. If a machine looks like it's running in a loop, then maybe, with enough notes and patience, you'll spot the next big payout. But the reality is far less forgiving. Every slot outcome is decided by an internal random number generator, or RNG, that runs at blinding speed, churning out millions of numbers each second. The instant you hit the spin button, the RNG selects a number and maps it to the reels. The previous spin? Gone. The next spin? Unwritten. There's no cycle, no hidden rhythm to catch. A former slot technician from the Midwest describes opening up a machine for a compliance check. Inside, he found a sealed chip, tamper-evident tape, and a service log showing the last certified audit. The RNG was hardware-based, seeded with unpredictable data, from electrical noise, clock drift, even random mouse movements during testing. Regulators require these machines to pass independence tests before they ever reach the floor. Labs like GLI and ECOGRA run suites of statistical checks to make sure every spin is truly random, with no pattern or bias. If the RNG or its seeding fails, the game doesn't get certified. Casino staff can't see, predict, or influence the sequence. The cycle is so long, trillions of possible outcomes, that even the engineers who built the machine couldn't chart a repeat. Gaming commissions monitor these systems with spot audits and strict paperwork. No amount of charting, timing, or tracking can outsmart a high-entropy RNG. The only thing a player can control is their own budget. Chasing patterns only guarantees one thing: you'll lose more time and money trying to beat a system designed to be unbeatable. Casino floors buzz with theories about the best time to play. Some regulars swear by early mornings, convinced the slots pay out more before the crowds arrive. Others aim for weekends, hunting for a so-called loose window when jackpots seem to hit more often. But the real story is hidden inside the cabinet, not on the casino calendar. Every slot machine's return to player percentage, RTP, is locked into its software or denomination chip. That percentage doesn't shift by the hour, day, or season. Changing it isn't as simple as flipping a switch. It's a process that triggers a mountain of paperwork, regulatory oversight, and physical security measures. A former slot technician remembers the routine. Any request to adjust a machine's payout required a formal change notice, removal of a tamper-evident seal, and a replacement chip or firmware update. Surveillance cameras rolled the entire time. Both a compliance officer and a tech had to sign off, and the logs were submitted to the State Gaming Commission. The process could take several days, with machines out of service until new certification stickers were applied. On the slot itself, you'll often spot a colored label or a metallic seal, proof that the game's software hasn't changed since its last approved audit. These stickers match the records held by regulators and testing labs, like GLI or ECOGRA, who certify every update before a machine returns to the floor. The RTP value is stored on the chip and confirmed by both the pay table and external certification. Casinos can't raise or lower payouts on a whim, and certainly not to match the ebb and flow of players. Gaming commissions enforce these rules with random spot checks and severe penalties for unauthorized changes. For players, chasing a mythical lucky hour is a waste of time. The odds are set in silicon, not in the schedule. The only thing that changes with the clock is the size of the crowd. Stories about loose machines near doors and bars have been traded in casinos for decades. Players crowd the aisles, convinced those spots pay out more often because they're meant to attract attention and lure in new gamblers. But the reality is decided far from the neon lights and slot banks. Placement on the floor has nothing to do with payout. Instead, which games go where depends on vendor contracts, theme diversity rules, and marketing priorities, not secret settings. An ex-floor manager from a major Midwest casino recalls the real process. When new machines arrive, procurement teams work off agreements with manufacturers. Each bank of slots is chosen to balance game types, denominations, and the latest licensed themes. Sometimes, a vendor pitches a central spot for visibility, but compliance and theme mix win out. Every machine's payout percentage is locked in the firmware, certified by outside labs, and double-checked by regulators. Any attempt to tune a particular machine for its location would trigger a compliance audit, risking fines or even license suspension. Central configuration systems track every slot on the floor, logging every change and update. Surveillance footage is required for any physical swap or firmware update, with both a technician and a compliance officer present. Audit logs record the serial numbers of chips and every service event, all submitted to the State Gaming Commission. A misplaced or unauthorized adjustment is a red flag that can lead to a full investigation. Choosing a slot based on its proximity to the bar or the front door won't change your odds. The only numbers that matter are set in the machine's software and confirmed by regulators. For players, the smarter move is to check the denomination, volatility, and pay table, because location is just floor lore. The real edge comes from understanding the game, not chasing myths about where the jackpots hide. Max Bet has become a rallying cry for slot influencers and high-stakes players, promising bigger wins and, according to the myth, better odds. But the truth hides in the fine print of every pay table. On most machines, the base return to player percentage remains exactly the same, whether you bet the minimum or go all in. What changes is eligibility for certain features, especially progressive jackpots. An ex-slot technician from Atlantic City recalls being asked by a regular if raising the bet would boost the payout percentage. He pointed to the pay table, where the only difference was a highlighted line. Jackpot available on Max Bet. The payouts for regular combinations, cherries, bars, sevens, didn't budge, no matter the wager. Only the top prize unlocked with the maximum stake. The machine's software, certified and sealed by regulators, holds the same base RTP across all bet levels. A side-by-side look at two pay tables tells the story. Both show identical odds for standard wins, but only the max bet column includes the progressive or bonus feature. For example, on a popular penny slot, betting 1 credit per line offers the same chance at small wins as betting 5. The jackpot, however, is grayed out unless you hit max. This isn't about generosity, it's about risk. The more you wager, the more volatile your session becomes. Higher bets mean bigger swings, up or down, but the underlying math doesn't tilt in your favor. Manufacturers and casinos are required by law to disclose these distinctions. Regulatory audits confirm that the base RTP is locked in the software and verified by independent labs. Any machine change, pay table, denomination, or firmware triggers a formal process. Paperwork, chip swaps, and compliance logs, all under surveillance. There's no secret lever for staff to pull that boosts your odds if you bet more. The smart move is to read the pay table before increasing your wager. If the only advantage of max bet is access to a progressive, weigh whether the extra risk fits your budget and goals. If you're not chasing the jackpot, there's no statistical edge in betting more. For most players, steadily raising the bet only speeds up losses. The best defense against this myth is knowledge. Check the pay table, understand what max bet actually unlocks, and never let influencer hype dictate your bankroll. Loyalty cards and Players Club points promise rewards for every dollar fed into a slot, but the numbers behind these programs tell a different story. Casinos market comps as a way to earn while you play, with offers of free meals, hotel nights, or bonus credits. On the surface, it sounds like a win-win, especially when staff encourage players to swipe in and rack up points. But the math behind these programs reveals just how little value is actually returned. For every $2,000 pushed through a typical penny slot, with an average house edge of 8%, the expected loss is $160. The comp rate on that same coin-in usually falls between 0.1% and 0.3%. That means, after losing $160, a player earns back only $4 to $6 in points or free play. An internal marketing spreadsheet from a major Midwest property spells it out. Slot points return 0.25% of theoretical loss. The fine print on most loyalty brochures confirms it. Comps are calculated as a fraction of what the casino expects you to lose, not what you actually spend or win. An ex-marketing manager describes the training. "We were told to position comps as a value add, not a rebate. The script was, you're getting rewarded for your loyalty, but the real goal was to keep players in their seats longer." Staff were coached to highlight milestones, like reaching a new tier or unlocking a buffet coupon, right as players were down, framing it as a comeback instead of a discount on entertainment. In reality, the more a player chases comps, the more they end up wagering, and the more the house edge grinds away at their bankroll. The psychology works. Regulars often extend sessions to hit a point goal, convinced they're closing in on a free dinner or room. But the numbers never add up in the player's favor. Even the most aggressive comp rates are dwarfed by the built-in house advantage. For most, the chase for points simply speeds up losses. The only way to treat loyalty points is as a small coupon, a modest rebate on entertainment, not a path to profit. The smart move is to enjoy the perks if you're playing anyway, but never let the promise of comps dictate how much you play or how long you stay. A jackpot symbol lands just above the pay line. 2 matching icons, then a third, so close it feels intentional. That's the near miss, the most powerful illusion in slot machine design. For decades, players have chased the belief that almost winning means a big payout is coming. but the truth is written in the machine's code. In the 1980s, regulators in Nevada and New Jersey uncovered machines that were programmed to show near misses more often than chance would allow. Technical records from the Nevada Gaming Control Board's 1984 investigation reveal how certain machines mapped losing stops, placing jackpot symbols just above or below the pay line far more frequently than pure randomness would produce. The effect was psychological, not mathematical. Players were nudged to keep spinning, convinced that a win was just out of reach. The New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement followed with its own ban in 1985, citing technical diagrams that exposed deliberate overrepresentation of near-miss stops. Both states forced manufacturers to reprogram or remove these machines, setting a national precedent. Engineered near misses were now illegal. Yet, even without manipulated code, near misses still appear naturally. Modern slots use random number generators that assign each real stop independently, but the way symbols are distributed on the virtual reel means losing by a hair is a regular occurrence. Behavioral studies show that near misses trigger the same brain responses as small wins, increasing bet frequency and session length. Players feel energized, not defeated, by almost hitting the jackpot, even though the odds haven't budged. The machine isn't getting warmer, and you're not getting closer. Every spin is a fresh roll of the dice, governed by the same probabilities as the last. An ex-surveillance manager from a major Las Vegas property describes watching players react to near misses on the monitors. It was common to see someone double their bet after a close call, convinced the machine was primed to pay. Floor staff were trained to avoid encouraging this thinking, but the design did most of the work. The near miss is a silent motivator, engineered to keep players in their seats. Regulators now require that all slot outcomes are fully random, and any attempt to artificially boost near misses is grounds for removal and fines. Still, the psychological pull remains, hardwired into the experience by the distribution of symbols and the human urge to chase what feels possible. The only way to break the spell is to see the near miss for what it is. Another losing spin, nothing more. No matter how many times the reels stop just shy, the odds haven't shifted in your favor. The smart play is to set a loss stop and a time limit before you start, and stick to them no matter how close you get. Every near miss is just a reminder of how the game is designed, not a sign that your luck is about to turn. From the familiar myth of hot or cold machines to the engineered illusion of the near miss, we've exposed all 7 slot machine myths that quietly drain players' wallets. The most shocking entries, like the belief that loyalty points equal profit or that an almost win means you're due, reveal how deeply psychological tricks and misunderstood math drive bigger losses. Across every entry, the common pattern is clear. Modern slots are designed around randomness and regulated programming, not floor legends or lucky timing. The highest-ranked myths, near miss and comp points, show just how much player behavior can be manipulated by flawed logic and casino marketing. What made each entry qualify was its power to mislead and increase losses, regardless of how widespread the belief. The real truth is that superstition, not science, leads most players astray. Understanding these myths isn't just trivia, it's the first step toward playing smarter and treating slots as pure entertainment, not a path to profit.